हरे कृष्ण। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। Hare Krishna. We should know what we are meditating upon. Yesterday I was in one college, so they told me to teach meditation to the students. They are like orientation for the newly joined students in the college. So they told me to teach meditation. So uh, I went there, and first thing I have to tell them is what is wrong meditation. Because meditation everybody is doing, but they are doing in wrong things. Because if you are sitting in front of TV and watching a movie for 3 4 hours, it is actually meditation only. They are meditating on wrong things, and the result of which is it increases our lust, greed, pride, anger, envy, illusion. It increases our lower nature and anartha. Whereas if you meditate on Krishna, we will be delivered. So we will be free from all these vices. And the type of happiness which we receive is in mode of goodness. Whereas the type of happiness which we receive in this case will be in mode of ignorance. So that is the main, the passion and ignorance. So that is the main difference. So meditation is happening for everyone, but unfortunately it is happening it is meditating on wrong things. So they are working very hard, everybody, but because they meditated on wrong things, they work in wrong places. That is the change that happens. So if we are meditating on right things, then we will be able to achieve something good in life. So this is the most unfortunate situation that happens, and it is important that we understand we are all so here we see in Bhagavatam, we are so much guided with our meditation, what meditation we should do. So much guidance is there in one level. So same thing uh, we should learn from this thing, that yeah, we have to meditate, but we should also know which meditation is important. So, and it is very much proportionate to what we are hearing. So meditation is dependent on hearing. This is also another thing we should know. And it is not just randomly happening. It is, if you are meditating on the passion and ignorance is increasing. Actually, even grahasthas can also achieve so much perfection if their meditation is right. It's not a question of brahmachari, grahastha, anything. Anybody can achieve perfection. Only thing is they just have to work on their meditation. That's all. It's a very simple formula, but very difficult to apply, obviously. But we can try. This is what we have to do in life. Just have to change our quality of meditation, what we are meditating. That's the reason we want connection to Guru and all these things, so that we are nicely, we have nice relation with Guru, so that we meditate on his service. This is a very important point. Relationship with Guru, and some service should be there. That meditation also helps. Some absorption should be there, mind. Right or wrong. Mind is always interested in absorption. And here we see that Bhagavatam is giving guided meditation. So when we are, and even materially also, scientists, if they are able to discover something or invent something, how they are able to do is because of deep meditation. They are also achieving a state of samadhi only. like rishis, why rishi is called one who sees the truth or one who sees the mantras? They are only the people who actually discovered many things for us, like Ayurveda, astrology, astronomy, or any other field we see. That is because of this sages meditation only. And if here also, and scientists are also able to do because of their meditation, right? So we have to know that this is very important aspect of uh, achieving some perfection in life, knowing right type of meditation. So Bhagavatam gives that direction and help for all of us, where to meditate and how to meditate. If we take it very seriously, then we are going to get maximum benefit. Otherwise, it's just a waste of time, waste of energy, and so much is wasted in our life. So every day morning we are hearing Bhagavatam, so that whole day we will be able to meditate on this thought process will be like this, and it's not just some some pious activity. No, it's a very serious meditation for us. Bhagavatam, everything is serious meditation. Uh, of course, see another thing, we have to take the topics which we are interested to meditate from Bhagavatam. So not every topic will give that much absorption also. That is also another point. Like say now Prabhuji was discussing about guest registration and all. Not everybody may feel that the topic very interesting, but some may feel the previous topic which Prabhuji discussed about what do you call context, according to the context. So like that, there are different things which will attract different people, and we should do our own research, our own thing to happily meditate on Bhagavatam like that. So most of the time I like mind and related topics. So that will be my, and when I ask also, when I discuss with some senior devotee also, I want to discuss on the same topics. I want to know more deeper. I like the topic. So no matter how much you discuss on it, I keep continuing. And anything related to that, I like to learn. So that is good actually for our meditation like that. So here we'll see the instructions by Prithu Maharaj. So he is going to instruct his citizens. मैत्रेवाच मौक्तिकैः कुसुमस्तग्गे दुकूलैः स्वर्णतोरणैः महासुरभिर्धूपैर्मण्डितं तत्र तत्र वै. The great sage Maitreya told Vidra, when the king entered his city, it was very beautifully decorated to receive him with pearls, flower garlands, beautiful clothes and golden gates, and the entire city was perfumed with highly fragrant incenses. Prabhupada's real opulence is supplied by natural gifts such as gold, silver, pearls, valuable stones, fresh flowers, trees, and silken cloth. Thus, the Vedic civilization recommends opulence and decoration with these natural gifts of Supreme Lord. Such opulence immediately changes the condition of the mind, and the entire atmosphere becomes spiritualized. Vidhu's city was decorated with such highly opulent decoration. So, this decoration is of a natural decoration. Chanda Guru To Yatra Yatta Chatvara Margavat Pushpakshata Palaistokamai Lajahir Architam. Fragrant water distilled with sandalwood and aguru. Herbs were sprinkled everywhere on the lanes, roads, and small parks throughout the city, and everywhere were decorations of unbroken flowers, fruits, wetted grains, varied minerals, and lamps, all presented as auspicious paraphernalia. So, if these are decoration, then the birds will have a good feast. They get so many grains here, there must be big number. Nowadays, what is happening? Na? Some of the birds they are getting extinct because of the environment which they are staying. They don't get proper grains. And previously, what used to happen in the village setup, when you wash some grains are just left there, and the birds come, they eat. And then there are some different types of birds are there which need different types of food. So everything is available naturally. But now we are staying in a very concrete environment place, and the roads are also very made, and then you have so many things like this, which is nowadays we don't see even crows up in the cities. We don't see any birds in cities. It's very difficult. Of course, where there are some gardens and all in the cities, that area is good, but otherwise, it's very difficult in some areas to see even birds also. Very unfortunate, actually. You cannot. Actually, when you wake up in the morning, we should hear the sounds of the birds. And of course, where I am staying in the part of city, it is here good. We hear birds. Because nearby we have a little forest area, but not everywhere it is like this. स्कन्धैकदालिस्तम्भैः पूगपोतैः परिकृतं सौर्वल्लभमालाभिः सर्वतः समलङ्कृतम्. At the street crossings, there were bunches of fruits and flowers, as well as pillars of banana trees and betel nut branches. All these combined decorations everywhere looked very attractive. पूजास्तं दीपबलिभिः सम्पृता शेषमङ्गलैः अभियूर्मत्मर्त कन्याश्चामर्तमस्तकण्डलमण्डिता. As the king entered the gates of the city, all the citizens received him with many auspicious articles like lamps, flowers, and yogurt. The king was also received by many beautiful unmarried girls whose bodies were bedaubed with various ornaments, especially with earrings which collided with one another. Offerings of natural products such as betel nuts, bananas, newly grown wheat, paddy, yogurt, and vermilion carried by the citizens and scattered throughout the city are all auspicious paraphernalia according to Vedic civilization. Receiving a prominent guest like a bridegroom, king, or spiritual master. Similarly, a welcome offering by unmarried girls who are internally and externally clean are dressed in nice garments and ornament is also auspicious. Kumari or unmarried girls untouched by the hand of any member of the opposite sex are auspicious members of society. Even today in Hindu society, the most conservative families do not allow unmarried girls to go out freely or mix with boys. They are very carefully protected by their parents while unmarried. After marriage, they are protected by young husbands, and when elderly, they are protected by their children. Thus, when thus protected, women as a class remains as always auspicious source of energy to man. And there will be so much controversy if we take these things literally. Because now, actually, the principle, what I understand is that uh, uh, when woman's mind is very pure, the product which comes out of is also very pure. That is the point. Even Arjuna had the same point. He said, Varna Shankara Karake. No, if women are not protected, Sri Vishnu Suvarshneya, Jayate Varna Shankara. So he says that if women are not protected, then there will be Varna Shankara. So that was his point. Protected in the sense what protection? Protection of mind, right? Their consciousness should be pure. That is the reason why, anyway, we'll not go in detail, but uh, the populations, what type of people are born, the responsibility is of women. What type of children are born? If she remains very pure, then devotee children are born. or very pious people are born. So all of your mothers are very great souls. They gave birth to all of you who are all devotees. So you should appreciate your mothers for that. They gave birth to good children. So it is actually mother's responsibility. At least they should be pious. See, they may not be devotees, but they should at least give pious. Of course, we cannot say that, oh, if some impious and very demonic children are born, mother is responsible. Sometimes it may be karma also that she has to go through. That's why she got such child. Like even Banasur is born to mother Lakshmi. So like that, there will be some exception cases. Like, but not, but in general, it happens like this. So we should know this truth that it is proportionate to what I am uh, what is the quality of the mind in most of the cases, but there will be exceptions also. We should not blame the mother. Actually, she is responsible in terms of giving that sanskaras. If she has given very, very nice, selfless love to the child when the child is small, she has given full time to him instead of doing other time pass with the mobile and all. So then definitely the child will, even though whatever bad qualities he has, he can easily overcome them and he can become a good person. So that is very much possible. So that's why there is protection needed. That's a Prabhupada is telling when thus protected, woman as a class remains an always auspicious source of energy to men. So she is an energy for man. Man, if you just if there are no women in this world, man will not work because he needs very little. He will become very lazy. Lazy in the sense he don't need any, there is no impetus. They say okay, eat and sleep. If you go to any unmarried men's places, they live very simple. They'll have one bed and TV and refrigerator, and most of the time they sleep sleep on the floor also. You'll have very less things in the house. But as soon as he gets married, everything accumulates. So as such, men they are lazy and they don't need much. When woman enters, then the energy of the man increases. Then he works more harder. He does many things, and even the people who want to achieve big things, there should be some impetus. They want to impress women. If there is no the desire to impress women, most of the people don't work only. All these so-called even sports people, movie people, and all corporate people, 90% their motivation is to impress only. Women should be there behind. Or to so I am not telling it is wrong. I am telling that's a source of energy. Even Prabhupada is telling. शङ्खदुन्दुभिघोषेण ब्रह्मघोषेण च द्विजां विशेषभवनं वीर्या स्तूयमानो गतस्मयः. When the king entered the palace, conch shells and kettle drums were sounded. Priests chanted Vedic mantras and professional reciters offered different prayers. But in spite of all the ceremony to welcome him, the king was not the least bit affected. Prabhupada is telling the reception given to the king was full of opulence, yet he did not become proud. It is said, therefore, that great personalities of power and opulence never become proud, and the example is given that the tray which is full of fruits and flowers did not stand erect in the pride, but instead bends towards to show submissiveness. This is a sign of wonderful character of great personalities. So they don't take these things seriously. Because I was talking to one uh, very famous personality. He was telling to be famous is a curse because you know, and if they are very honest, they don't take the credit also. That is the safest thing. Then they are very fortunate also. Pujita pujayamasa tatra tatra mahayasha पौरान् जानपदां स्तां प्रीत्य प्रियवरः प्रदः. Both the important citizens and the common citizens welcomed the king very heartily, and he also bestowed upon them their desired blessings. A responsible king was always approachable by his citizens. Generally, the citizens, great and common, all had an aspiration to see the king and take benedictions from him. The king knew this, and therefore, whenever he met the citizens, he immediately fulfilled their desires or mitigate their grievances. In such dealings, a responsible monarch is better than a so-called democratic government in which no one is responsible to mitigate the grievances of the citizens who are unable to personally meet the supreme executive head. In a responsible monarchy, the citizens have no grievances against the government, and even if they did, they could approach the king directly for immediate satisfaction. So the kingdoms were little, maybe even bigger or smaller. They had somebody who is responsible who can take care. They are full, whole and soul responsible. That's why it is easy to handle. Now it is very complicated situation. स एवम् आदीन्य अनवद्य चेष्टितः कर्माणि भूयांसि महामहत्तमः कुर्वन् स शाश्वन मण्डलं यशः स्प्रीतं निधायुरुः हे paramam padam. King Prithu was greater than the greatest souls and was therefore worshipable by everyone. He performed many glorious activities in ruling over the surface of the world and was always magnanimous. After achieving such great success and reputation, which spread throughout the universe, he at last obtained the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Prabhupada is telling that a responsible king or chief executive has many responsible duties to attain to in ruling over the citizens. The most important duty of the monarch or the government is to perform various sacrifices as enjoined in the Vedic literatures. The next duty of the king is to see that every citizen execute the prescribed duties for his particular community. It is the king's duty to see that everyone perfectly execute the duties prescribed for the Varna and Ashrama division of the societies. Besides that, as exemplified by King Prithu, he must develop the earth for the greatest possible production of food grains. So this is what they should give protection to the mind, they should give protection to the body, they should give protection to the soul, all three things. There are different types of great personalities. Some are positive great personalities, some are comparative, and some are superlative. But King Prithu exceeded all of them. He is therefore described as Mahattamattama, Mahattamaha, greater than the greatest. Maharaj Prithu was a Kshatriya and he discharged his Kshatriya duties perfectly. Similarly, Brahmanas, Vaishyas, and Shudras can discharge their respective duties uh, perfectly, and thus, at the ultimate end of life, be promoted to the transcendental world, which is called Paramapadam. Paramapadam or the Vaikuntha planets can be achieved only by devotional service. The impersonal Brahman region is also called Paramadam, but unless one is attached to the personality of God, one must again fall down to the material world from the impersonal Paramadam situation. It is said, therefore, Arusha Kurchena Paramadam Dataha. The impersonalists endeavor very strenuously to achieve the Paramadam or impersonal Brahmajyoti, but unfortunately, being bereft of a relationship with the Supreme Lord, they come down again to the material world. If one flies in outer space, he can go very high up, but unless he reaches a planet, he must come down again to it. Similarly, because the impersonalists also reach the Paramadam, but they don't enter Vaikuntha, so they don't get any shelter. Sutta Uvacha तदाध्यराजस्य यशो विजृम्भितं गुणैरशेषैर्गुणत्वसम्भाजितं क्षत्ता महाभागवतस्तदस्पते कौशारवं प्राह गणतम् अर्चयन्. Sutta Goswami continued, O Saunaka, leaders of the great sages, after hearing Maitreya spoke about the various activities of King Prithu, the original king, was fully qualified, glorified, and widely praised all over the world. Vidura, the great devotee, very submissively worshipped Maitreya Rishi and asked him the following question. Vidura uvacha sabhikshata prutirviprair labdha sesha haranah बिभृत्स वैष्णवं तेजो भावोर्याभ्यां दुधोगा. Vidura said, My dear Brahmana Maitreya, it is very enlightening to understand that King Prithu was enthroned by the great sages and Brahmanas. All the demigods presented him with innumerable gifts, and he also expanded his influence upon personally receiving strength from Lord Vishnu. Thus he greatly developed the purpose. Writing, because Prithu Maharaj was an empowered incarnation of Lord Vishnu and was naturally a great Vaishnava devotee of the Lord. All the demigods were pleased with him, presented different gifts to help him in exercising his royal power. And the great sages and saintly persons also joined in this coronation. Thus, blessed by them, he ruled over the earth and exploited its resources for the greatest satisfaction of people in general. Thus, this has already been explained in the previous chapter regarding the activities of King Prithu. As will be apparent from the next verses, every executive head of the state should follow in the footsteps of Maharaj Prithu in ruling over his kingdom, regardless of whether the chief executive is a king or a president, or whether the government is monarchical or democratic. This process is so perfect that if it is followed, everyone will become happy, and thus it will be very easy for all to execute devotional service to Supreme Lord. So from here onwards, the instructions which are going to come is for all executive heads. Everybody is going to benefit from this. That's what Prabhupada is telling. Konyasya kirtyam tasnyotyabhijño yadvikramochistamashesha bhupata lokasapala upajivanatah kamam adhyapitanme vada karma shuddham. Prithu Maharaj was so great in his activities and magnanimous in his method of ruling that all the kings and demigods on the various planets still follow in his footsteps. Who is there who will not try to hear about his glorious activities? I wish to hear more and more about Prithu Maharaj because his activities are so pious and auspicious. So, Vidura is so much eager to hear about Prithu Maharaj because activities in order to also be able to rule over their kingdoms or state very faithfully for the peace and prosperity of people in general. Because unfortunately, present moment, no one cares to hear about Prithu Maharaj or follow his footsteps. Therefore, no nation in this world is either happy or progressive in spiritual understanding, although that is the sole aim and objective of human life. Maitreya Vacha Ganga Yamunayor Nadhyor Antara Kshetramavasan Arbadhan Eva Bhupuje Bhogan Punyan Jihasaya. The great saintly sage Maitreya told Vidura, My dear Vidura, King Prithu lived in the tract of land between the two great rivers Ganga and Yamuna. Because he was very opulent, it appeared that he was enjoying his destined fortune in order to diminish the results of his pious activity. is a very nice point Prabhupada is telling. The term pious and impious are applicable only in reference to the activities of ordinary living beings. But Maharaj Prithu was directly empowered incarnation of Lord. Therefore, he was not subjected to reactions of pious or impious actions. As we have already explained previously, when a living being is specifically empowered by Supreme Lord to act for a particular purpose, he is called Shaktyavesh Avatar. A devotee is not subjected to reactions resulting the past deeds. Brahma Samhita says, Karmani nirdahati kintuja bhakti bhaja. The word Arbhana Eva means as if achieved by past deed. But in case of Prithu Maharaj, there is no question of reactions of past deed. Thus, the word Eva used here to indicate comparison to ordinary persons. Avajananti Mamuda, Bhagavad Gita says. This means that sometimes people misunderstand an incarnation of Supreme Lord to be an ordinary man. The Supreme God is incarnation or his devotee may pose themselves as ordinary men, but they are never to be considered as such. Nor should an ordinary man be supported by authorized statements of Shastras and Acharya to be accepted as an incarnation of God, of incarnation or devotee. By the evidence of Shastra, Sanatana Goswami detected Lord Chaitanya as the direct incarnation of Krishna. So it is therefore generally recommended that Acharya or Guru should not be accepted as an ordinary man. Okay, we'll end here. For a few days we'll do till 9 o'clock only. Thank you very much.